Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Screeny. You would think that Hollywood's finest celebrities must be polite, well-mannered, and generally nice to get to the top. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. They might look charming on screen, but be a total jerk off screen. In some cases, the funniest, most popular celebs have had moments that show a darker side. We're not saying we don't love these guys and appreciate their incredible work, but it just goes to show everyone has their off moments. Join us as we take a look at innocent celebs that are actually mean in real life. Before we begin, do us a favor by clicking that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a video on your favorite TV shows. Mark Wahlberg.
Come on. Sing it. Sing the vibration.
People love Mark Wahlberg. He's arguably one of the most popular Hollywood actors out there. Plus, he was part of New Kids on the Block. How mean can this guy be, right? It turns out he can be pretty darn awful. Although it was a long time ago, Wahlberg has a shady past that he's never really confronted. In 1986, the star was charged with a civil rights action for supposedly yelling at a group of black teens. We can't repeat the exact language he used here, but trust us when we say it was racist and terrible. In another incident 2 years later, the actor is said to have beaten up a Vietnamese man with a stick. That's not the kind of thing you would expect from one of Hollywood's leading men, is it? Sure, he may be nice to fans and his peers, but that's some horrendous stuff to have buried in your past. Is the nice guy just a facade, or has he really changed over the last couple of decades? Halle Berry. It doesn't get any meaner than smashing people with your car and fleeing the scene, does it? Halle Berry has mostly managed to steer clear of major scandals over the course of her career, but in 2000 her reputation was well and truly brought into disrepute. Berry plowed into another vehicle, leaving the other woman with a serious head injury that required 22 stitches and a broken wrist. For unknown reasons, Berry fled the scene. The victim claims that the actress was under the influence of either alcohol or drugs at the time, but as the police didn't catch up with the Swordfish star until after the incident took place, they had no proof of that. The actress denied being under the influence but did plead no contest to the other charges. She ended up getting off with probation before attempting to keep the situation under wraps. Doesn't exactly reflect well on her personality, does it? What's that all about, Halle? Tim Allen.
How could I have done this without you, Charlie?
You couldn't.
How mean could Tim Allen possibly be? After all, he had the lead role in everyone's favorite 90s sitcom Home Improvement. He's played Santa Claus more than once. He's Tim Allen. Before you start shouting at your screens, hear us out. We're sorry to burst your bubble, but just like our friends Mark Wahlberg, Allen has some explaining to do. Before he became famous, Allen was headed down an entirely different path. In 1978, he was arrested in Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport for possession of over 650 grams of cocaine. Things were so bleak that officials gave him an ultimatum: hand over the names of other dealers in the area or face a life behind bars. So Tim coughed up the names they wanted and went on to become one of the biggest names in Hollywood after spending 2 years in jail. According to one Reddit user whose family owns a Dairy Queen, Allen is aggressive and rude to waiting staff, and his crew frequently have to apologize for his attitude. It's not surprising, really, given what he got up to in the 70s. Catherine Zeta-Jones. Mrs. Michael Douglas comes across as warm and humble in her interviews, but in real life, she may just be one of the worst human beings on the planet. According to one woman, she attended an advanced screening of The Mask of Zorro when she was just 8 years old. Excited to see the Welsh actress there, she approached her in the hopes of getting some encouragement. Unfortunately for her, when the youngster told Zeta-Jones that she wanted to be an actress too, the star looked her up and down and said, "I suppose you're pretty enough," thus giving the poor child a complex that she struggled to shake off for the rest of her life. She might be one of the most beautiful women of all time according to numerous lists, but that just proves you can have an appealing shell and a rotten core. Seriously, who says that to a kid? An 8-year-old kid? Chevy Chase. We haven't seen much of Chevy Chase on our screens in recent years, and there might be a pretty good reason for that. Over the years, the comic actor has managed to gain quite the reputation for being anything but nice in real life. Other actors that have worked with him have said he's a nightmare to talk to, but we want to focus on one particular account from actor and comedian Rob Huebel. Huebel had admired Chase for a long time before he had the opportunity to meet him at an event. Huebel claims that he approached Mr. Chase, told him how much he loved his work, and in return, he got slapped straight across the face. Yep, you heard that right. Chase didn't utter a word and supposedly let his hand do the talking. Clearly, the young actor was a little bit disgruntled after being assaulted by his idol, but Chase shrugged it off, saying, "Can't you see I'm talking to somebody, kid?" Wow, the meeting certainly left an impression. A hand slapped one. Ariana Grande.
Directed, name in the credits, like the movies do.
Here's another surprising tale for you, courtesy of a disgruntled fan. In 2013, Dan O'Connor and his daughters Jen and Kelly were thrilled to learn that they had won an MTV contest. The prize? A personal meeting with pop sensation Ariana Grande. His daughters were thrilled to meet the idol, and like a doting dad, O'Connor went along for the ride. Speaking about the experience on his blog, Dan explains that it was a long and drawn-out day that saw them waiting to meet the singer for a long time. He started getting suspicious when MTV asked his daughters to talk about what it was like meeting Ariana before she had even appeared. When the meeting finally did happen, Ariana was allegedly icy, unwelcoming, and spent less than 30 seconds with each of the 3 competition winners. For a celebrity that frequently talks about how much she loves her friends, that seems pretty cold, don't you think? Is Ariana's nice girl act really that? An act? It's difficult to believe considering how much she has done for fans since the Manchester bombings. Katherine Heigl. At first glance, Katherine Heigl looks like the epitome of all American beauty, doesn't she? She's tall, elegant, blonde, and well known for playing highly strung roles. In 27 Dresses, she was the eternal bridesmaid. In Knocked Up, she was the busy career woman with a bun in the oven. To say she's typecast would be an understatement. Despite her role in Grey's Anatomy and Knocked Up helping to kickstart her career in more ways than one, Heigl has a habit of knocking her previous roles. She's actually notorious for taking a check and then bashing the project down, so it's no wonder that she doesn't get many parts these days. She called Knocked Up sexist in an interview and has been known to be a nightmare to work with on set. Why? Who knows? She's definitely not one of the most talented actresses out there, and judging by her credits, is a bit of a one-trick pony. Other sources also claim that the actress has poor hygiene and purposely eats garlic before kissing scenes to irritate other actors. Nice. Gwyneth Paltrow. Paltrow has had a glittering career as an actress, especially in the 90s and the noughties. When she launched her lifestyle website Goop, people were expecting great things. What we really got was a bunch of questionable advice that's been slammed by experts across the globe. We could forgive Gwynny for her website misdemeanors if she just wasn't so darn unlikable. A simple Google search will throw up dozens of pages calling her one of the most hated actresses in Hollywood. You don't gain a reputation like that out of nowhere. She's the queen of pretentious, thanks to quotes like, "When I pass a flowering zucchini plant in my garden, my heart skips a beat," and "I'd rather smoke crack than eat cheese from a tin." Paltrow really does herself no favors. We get it, you're rich and have the money to do whatever you want. Insert eye roll here. Rihanna. The superstar singer makes a big show of how important her fans are to her, but when it comes to treating them right, she's not the best in show business. In 2014, 16-year-old Alexis Carter decided to go to the prom wearing a bat-winged pantsuit inspired by a Rihanna look. Excited by her outfit, she tweeted a picture of herself to Riri in hopes that she might see it. Oh, the umbrella singer saw it all right. She saw it, laughed at it, retweeted it with an image of herself, and then retweeted some of the cruel jokes people made at Carter's expense. One joke in particular, "The dark thought rises," caught the eye of many. The incident caught so much media attention that Baltimore's Fox 45 News asked Carter for an interview where she explained how hurt she was at Rihanna's actions. Seriously, what is up with these people? Didn't your mama raise you right? There's no excuse for acting like that, no matter how many records you've sold. Tobey Maguire. Best known for his role in the Spider-Man movies, it's hard to imagine Tobey Maguire as anything other than kind. He's so soft-spoken that he couldn't possibly be a secret douche nozzle. Or could he? According to superstar gambler Molly Bloom, her encounter with the actor was anything but pleasant. During a high-stakes poker game in 2014, Bloom says that Tobey asked her to bark like a seal. In exchange, he'd give her a $1,000 chip. Understandably, Bloom refused to do the humiliating act and was offended. According to her, Maguire then said, "I'm not kidding, what's wrong? You're too rich now? You won't bark for $1,000? The audacity of it! Maybe Maguire spent a little too long in that black Spidey suit. That's the only reasonable explanation we have for him being so incredibly rude. Aunt May would be so disappointed in you, Tobey. But FYI, we definitely bark like a seal for $1,000 if the offer is still open. Just saying. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos on your favorite TV shows, and tap one of the 2 videos on screen for another amazing video.